afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Columbus Blue Jackets, the hottest team in the NHL, winning 6 straight and 10 of their last 11. They'll look to continue that tonight when they host the Chicago Blackhawks at 7. Last game for the CBJ before the Olympic break, and a reunion tonight with former Blue Jackets captain Nick Foligno in the building and Jeff Rimmer on the TV call. Kirill Marchenko skated this morning. If he's feeling well, he will go tonight. Jet Greaves gets the start in net. Coverage here on The Fan begins at 6:30. The Cleveland Cavaliers made a major move yesterday, trading Darius Garland and a second-round pick to the Los Angeles Clippers for James Harden. Those two take on each other tonight out in L.A. Maybe we'll see the debut of Harden against his former team. The tip is at 10:30. Both Ohio State basketball teams in action tomorrow. The men in Maryland taking on the Terrapins at 8:30. The 9th-ranked Lady Bucks out west battling Washington at 9.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. On a wild Wednesday, big show for you today. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Loose Cannon. Boys, how we feeling?
It's good, man. It's always good to be back in the building with you and our listeners. Shout out to whoever's listening, wherever you're listening. Shout out to everybody in the YouTube chat. We love you. Welcome back in. What's going on, man? You good?
Oh, we got Chef. Yes. Who knew that I was very prophetic, I believe. It was going to be the year of the beard. We'll get to that. I should have known.
I see what you did there.
I should have known.
I see what you did there.
We got Shefty, 12:30, bottom of the hour from Super Bowl 60, so we'll pick his brain on the game and everything surrounding Cleveland right now with Jim Schwartz. Can't wait to ask him about whether my read on that yesterday is correct as far as that thing leaning
He gone.
We will have Hockey and Hounds today on a game day with Zach.
Let's go.
And so that'll be at 2:30 as they come home to play the Blackhawks. And the Columbus Blue Jackets are the hottest team in hockey right now. This was a wake-up call that this team got from their GM. Don Waddell pushed a button on Dean Evison, and it changed everything. Now, I said when it happened that it was one of those things that these guys take a lot of pride. I think they believed that they were a playoff team. They were losing some games in the third period. They almost felt like they were a little bit unlucky, but that's not anything they would admit, that they just weren't making their own breaks. Yeah. And when you lose a lot of third period games, you start to get a little bit nervy when it comes to that. I don't know if they'd admit that or whether that's any science
I think that's human nature.
Protecting leads.
To get a little tight in situations
when
like
you've
that.
seen stuff fail.
Yeah.
And when your coach gets fired, it is a wake-up call because it works both ways. For Elvis, it worked like there was a burden lifted off of him. Like all of a sudden, like I am now free to like be me again. Like I got to get a chance to show myself, and it's worked. And for other guys, it may be like, hey, I really like Dean, and I take this as more of a shot at us than him, and we need to rescue this. Yeah. This is our team as much as it was his.
It's really cool to see both parties come together, right? You know, Rick comes in and has the press conference, and he talks about how, you know, he wants to push the pace more and wants guys to be a little nastier and aggressive and all of that. What's got to come along with that is the guys respecting his vision and moving forward with that vision. And everybody is just bought in. And the results, I mean, how can you not love this if you're a Jacket fan? And you touched on Elvis. I mean, immediately after the Dean news came down, he had that moment with Jody after the game. And, you know, what's the difference in the vibe? And he talks about, hey, new coach, right? And this guy right now is getting an opportunity to be the absolute guy he probably believes he was always meant to be in this sport. And so Elvis right now racks up a shutty, his first shutout in, a couple years, I believe. And so his level of confidence right now has to be through the roof along with his teammates. And we talk about it all the time. When you get really good goaltending, a lot of good results are going to have a chance to follow in this sport. And that's what's happening right now for the Jackets. So I love seeing what's in net, AR. What I thought's been really cool recently, too, is how good they've been on the PK. The kill's been good, man. They go, you know, their opponents over the last 3 games are 0 of 10 on the power play. And so the Jackets right now are kind of turning teams' water off there. And so just the execution on all the different areas of the ice right now is fun to watch. And I know those guys are loving what they're doing, and, maybe a little bit of unfortunate timing with the Olympic break, but you'll take these results all day and tomorrow.
That's it. You needed it. It's too hypothetical. I brought this up last week that maybe the worst thing that could happen to a team that has momentum is to stop the momentum.
Yeah.
That's why timeouts exist, because of momentum. Yeah. And this team's momentum will be halted. It will. Now, whether or not the rest does them right, but getting back into the conversation was paramount. That was it. Because there would be no Olympic break for them if they were out of it. Then where's the hope? When Don Waddell came on with us last week,
yeah.
I remember coming out of that conversation saying that he doesn't really have to sell hope anymore. Like, now they have it. Now it's how they build off of it. Now, Elvis last night was great. It's not like the Devils are a great scoring team, but he was great. And at times he was really locked in. If there was a bad turnover, he was ready. And I was glad to see him blank them. That's awesome. I mean, he's still an .888 goalie. He's still got to be better than that. But I think his mind is completely different. He's going to go play for Latvia now, and Z's going to go play for the USA. And here's Elvis last night on what the team has done better since Bones was appointed head coach.
Like I said, I think we are just playing differently. We are cleaning our spaces. We are maybe doing less mistakes. We are staying maybe always three guys on defense. We defend. That's what the coach wants. He said that it's off as a first day. In this league, you can't win if you don't defend. And we're defending, and we're defending well. And then when we have our opportunities, chances to go like in a breakaway or something, we're doing it. And then we try to solve the problem there, scored like Ollie did today. That, I think, was a huge one.
No doubt. It was a wild game because it was so tight. You didn't get the first, I always track first goal scorer. Mm-hmm. And last night we had Heinen scored the first goal, and it was waved off for goalie interference. And Heinen was like at 40-1. Like, no one would have really bet him to score the game's first goal. And then later on, Fabro gets it. Mm-hmm. And Fabs wasn't even on my betting sheet. He wasn't even on it. Because I think nobody even knew whether he'd really be in the lineup for sure or not. But they almost got a shorty with Boone. I thought Elvis was good and very good at times. No one's going to apologize when you get help from the post. You got help from the post. I think the Devils rang 2 posts in the third back-to-back.
We'll take it.
You're never going to apologize for that. And the fact that Ali gets if you just look at the 2-0 backbreaker goal, was Boone winning a puck battle on the boards, sliding it to, I think, Sillinger, who gets it to Ali, who makes a move. And then late, when the Devils empty their net and Ali gets slashed on his way and gets he would have gotten the empty netter anyway, but he gets credit for the second goal without even shooting the puck on net. And this is who they are. They're the hottest team right now. They've got to ride this. They're back in the conversation. I haven't checked their point projection yet today, but I'll give you the standings. They are literally now, and it's too bad that I think the Islanders won a game last night that I thought they were going to lose, but Columbus is now 4 points back of third place in the Metro, which would lock them into the playoffs. 4 points. And the key to that is they have 2 games at hand on the Islanders. They've played 2 less games. They're your 4 points if they could win both of those. So here we are. They're playing the Blackhawks. This will be a game. They just played them, and they're going to probably it'd be hard not to ride this hot streak now going in. They've, ever since Bones took over, and he took over at that Calgary game, they're 9-1 since he took over. You remember the record I wanted them to have when he took over? What I was saying we needed to have?
7-3.
I was 8-3-1.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was 7-3.
I was 8-3-1. They're 9-1, and they get the Blackhawks tonight. So, 10-1 would be
incredible.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. You know what's good, too, AR, is last year we spent a lot of time talking about when they left nationwide, it was a bit of a struggle. Mm-hmm. It was a struggle. And they've already matched. So looking at the standings today, they're already at 14 road wins already. Last year, they ended the season 14, 23, and 4. So they're turning a corner there, which is really, really good to see. And this is what you want as a Jacket fan right now, is to get to this portion of the calendar and feel the word that you're talking about. It's just the hope, right? And locking into these games, going over to that building on home games, and just feeling like your team's going to have a chance to do something. And so, yeah, credit to just everybody again for locking in and saying, we know we're better than this. We know we can throw out a much better product, and that's absolutely what they're doing.
KJ was good last night. I thought he was certainly aware of things and playing the right way with the puck and making sure he was shielding the puck a little bit and keeping it in. He's been good too. There have been some guys that have gotten a bump from this emotionally from the coaching change and a chance to kind of rewrite your own narrative this year. Mm-hmm. And so let's hope they ride it out. So they'll be dropping puck tonight at Nationwide against the Blackhawks, and that game is 7 o'clock. So probably a 7:07 drop, and then we'll have Z on at 2:30 today. We'll get into some football next. There's been a lot of talk since Todd Monken took over about whether they will build around a quarterback they have on the roster. There's one analyst that says that would be the wrong thing to do. You'll hear that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Looking to grow your money in 2026? Kemba Financial Credit Union has secure savings options to fit your lifestyle. From everyday savings to high-yield certificates and flexible money market accounts, your money works harder here. It's a better way to bank. Rooted locally and powered by real people across Central Ohio who are committed to making a lasting difference, empowering you to meet and exceed your financial goals. Check today's rates at kemba.org/rates. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $100 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $100 more. See store for details.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Tri-State Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Tri-State Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you in Hilliard and Westerville.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service for a full synthetic oil change for just $74.99, plus earn $7 toward your next service with Duramax dollars. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer ends February 28th. See store for details.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco is giving away $500 in free repairs whenever you buy a new water heater.
Helps restore balance to the universe.
Give it away plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
What does it mean to live here, serve here in the Ohio Army National Guard?
It means I can attend college full-time and not have to take out student loans to pay for my tuition.
It means I can work my civilian job during the week and support my state and nation in times of need.
You too can live here, serve here as a member of the Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with full-time benefits at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
School secretaries, custodians, nurses, paraeducators. These are just a few of the education support professionals who help schools in Ohio run smoothly every day. We are so grateful for these educators who ensure our students have a safe ride to school, healthy meals, and so much more. Please join me in saying thank you.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association. February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Things to know about T-Bone and Tyvis. Bone hates the SEC. Tyvis refuses to drink dark liquids. And they're both big fans of public shaming. Oh, they also host a radio show together weekday mornings from 6 to 9. Listen to it. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny skies for us today, but chilly. Temperatures only getting into the mid-20s, and then for tonight, partly cloudy overnight with our lows down into the single digits. For Thursday, expect partly sunny skies, but daytime highs a little bit cooler as we only get into the 20s with light winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Shefty, bottom of the hour. Asked Maddie during the break, because we're going to air this soundbite with an analyst. And I said, which Hasselbeck is this? Matt or Tim? I'm assuming it was Tim because Tim's the guy in the media.
Yeah, he's working for ESPN. Yeah. I don't know what his brother is up to. Both these guys rocking bald heads, though, right? Bald head gang.
I think I think he's good. I really do. I think he comes off very measured. He's calm. He gives his opinion. He's not a guy that has to, beat down the argument. Like, I think he just...
Like 80% of the people at ESPN do?
He's kind of been there, done that. It's not like he was the greatest quarterback in the world, but listen, he played on a lot of teams in the NFL, and...
They're Boston guys, right? The Hasselbecks?
Yes.
Boston College for both of them or one of them?
Timmy went to BC.
Okay, both of them went to BC. Okay.
Did you say both?
Both.
Okay.
So they're probably rooting for the Pack. Well, I don't know. His brother is a Seahawk legend.
Is he the younger brother? Is that your little brother? Tim?
Good-looking kid.
Tim's the younger.
Tim's younger,
Is he younger? And his brother, I believe, is like a top 50 all-time Seahawk or something like that. I think he's in there, maybe Ring of Honor. He got that kind of honor, I believe. So he's got to be torn. A franchise that he played a long time for and being a Boston kid, where you leaning this week?
I think they played for Tom Coughlin at BC before he went to the Giants.
Okay.
Well, he's going to be mad at me because when I go, which Hasselbeck is this? One's the media guy and one was the much more successful quarterback.
Matt was in media. Matt was on.
I know, but I guess the fact
NFL Countdown.
TLC, the fact that I melt them together is bad because
which bald white guy is it?
One guy was very successful.
Yeah.
3-time Pro Bowler. And Maddie's right. He is in the Ring of Honor in Seattle.
Didn't Tim marry a model, though, so he's successful, too?
No, Tim married the girl from The View, I thought.
Oh.
Maybe she was a model at one time. I don't know.
She's famous, I'm sure.
That's a win.
All right, so let's get back to the original thought.
So this is going to be
Tim, the one that's not as successful as a quarterback, but maybe a more successful media guy.
Okay.
All right. So we were talking about the Browns and Shedeur and whether they have a future quarterback on the roster. I'll ask this first. What were the results of our poll that we put out a couple of weeks ago to Browns fan on whether the franchise future quarterback is currently on the roster? Do you remember?
No, but I'm looking for it.
It leaned
not ready on this.
Right? Like 60-40 or 70-30 no.
I'm pretty sure.
Like they don't believe that Shedeur Sanders is going to be their quarterback for the next
All right, here was the
5
question.
to 10 years.
I think is understood.
The question was quite simply, is Shedeur Sanders Cleveland's QB of the future?
And?
No, 76-24.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, Tim agrees with us, or agrees with the poll, with the fans.
He agrees with the dog pound.
And that building around this specific quarterback would not be his strategy.
No, it's how I felt about him coming out of college. I think that I think there are things he does at the position extremely well that you need to be able to do well to play in the National Football League. I actually think, that's the good side of it. I think the bad side of it for him, I just think physically there are limitations that he has as a player that don't know that anyone is building around that. Could he end up, playing in the league for 10 years, in some role as a backup and then maybe get an opportunity to play? Sure, he could. But I don't think that anybody, listen, there isn't a single team of the 32 that would look at him right now and be like, yep, I want to build around that guy. There's not, I'm not saying that to be demeaning or mean. That is the reality of who he actually is as a player and how he is viewed, quite frankly, consensusly around the league.
Hard to argue. The good news is that Shedeur is the kind of player that loves to hear that, and that could only motivate him more. I like the fact he plays with confidence. I like the fact that he believes he has to prove people wrong. I think that's an edge that athletes have over others. Not all pro athletes are built the same. Some can rely on talent, some rely on motivation, and some rely on all of it and coaching. And he's got a lot of what it takes to make it. But what he's saying is, if I read him correctly, is that he's got a ceiling when it comes to building around him, meaning that he's a franchise quarterback that you would build around. I think if you went further into that conversation with him, I think, like he said, he could be successful. I think where you take it another level is, what does he need to make him successful? Not just a backup in the NFL. Like, what kind of team does he need? Right? Because if his height is the limitation, there's nothing we can do about that.
He's not short, though.
Yeah.
I think he's got 6'1", 6'2". Yeah. So I think that's
with a helmet and cleats, he might be 6'3".
Yeah,
who knows?
I think you're good there. I mean, we've seen
longer cleats.
Guys, yeah, right, shorter than that have some success. And so there was a mixed bag there in that clip, right? He sees some of the vision with what he can do, and I think his arm talent is good enough. I think his decision-making was in question this year and some of the things that we saw him do, but I think you could say that about a lot of rookies. When the game speeds up at that level and you're just seeing all these different exotic looks that maybe you haven't seen before, and you're just going against the best guys in the world, you're going to expect rookies to run into some brick walls. And we saw that from Shedeur. I just think now, if you're Todd Monken and Andrew Berry, the question is whether you think those things are coachable, right? And can you coach that out of him? Because I think there's something there that you can work with. But I think maybe what Hasselbeck's getting at is he doesn't maybe see one elite trait from Shedeur. And I think when you look at some of the guys that we deem as the best, there's one thing you can look at and say, man, that can really keep him around the league and have him play at a high level for a long time because of his arm strength, because of his athleticism, because of his processing, whatever that may be. Those guys have it. Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, all these guys just separate themselves because they have one or two things that not a lot of other guys have. And sometimes when you don't have that, you have to make up for so much more. And for Shedeur, can he do that? We shall see. I do think, though, no matter who you drop into Cleveland right now, the offense isn't good enough to support any quarterback at the moment. There's a couple bright spots there, but they got a long way to go. We were reacting yesterday to Todd Monken, and when he referenced the offensive side of the ball, he said, we got to build that thing from the ground up. And so I think the best way to support whoever's going to be playing quarterback is to make sure that up front, that guy's going to have time to do what he needs to do, because that was another part of it, too, that I think led to some of the dicey decision-making for Shedeur. Was the offensive line was just a mess. It really was in front of him. And when you are a quarterback that doesn't have the athletic ability to overcome that, that's only going to compound the mistakes, and I think that's what we saw from him.
Yeah, he's just tall enough to not have a real comp. Like when Bryce Young was coming out, he was comped to Drew Brees because of the height and where he was picked. And it's funny because I don't really, like, Bryce Young weighed 200 pounds at the combine. And no quarterback in the last 20 years has weighed that little. I'm telling you, like it. And then when he came into the league, it was like, okay, he's a bust. And now look, he's got a little bit of resurgence.
There's
some belief
in the
now
playoffs
because it was more about his durability or lack thereof that people were worried about. When you weigh 200 pounds at the combine and nobody's ever weighed in less than 207 in the last 20 years, people get a little worried.
You know, the other thing too, AR, if you and I are offensive play callers too, that can be probably a challenge as well as far as like the tip passes at the line and, having to move him out of the pocket a lot and how traditional can you get, because you want to have a guy be able to stay in that pocket and rip you. And Bryce Young has shown the ability to do that. And look what happened from year 1 to year 2. I think the weaponry got a better around him. You bring around Teteroa McMillan and some other guys, and you saw, okay, there's something there with Bryce Young. So it's got to be the maturation process for a quarterback, but also guys coming along with him that can help him out, because I don't view Bryce Young as an aircraft carrier, but I do think you can have success with him. And we saw that today or this season when you bring in Dave Canales as the head coach, as the offensive mind in this, and then you drop some young talent around him and you maybe cook it a little bit.
That's my example. Like if I'm a Browns fan, that's what I'm pointing to. If he can have a turnaround with the right talent around him and the right coaching, why can't Shedeur? Like, I honestly believe that. I'm not here to tell you that I would guarantee anything. I just know that when he came out of college, it was, all right, is it Travis Hunter or is it Shedeur Sanders? Like, who's making who look great? And it really was more Travis. Like, having him was like, okay, he's got a gifted guy. But then when you started watching Shedeur and you thought, okay, he can be pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yes. And now the poise, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Poise counts. Like, he's got to have that a little bit. And when you have a bad team and you feel like you got to do a lot on your own, it's kind of like looking at Sam Darnold with the Jets. Like, I'm seeing ghosts. Everybody said, okay, this guy doesn't have the mental makeup to make it in pro football. Well, guess what happened? Bounced around a little bit, got to the Vikes, got some good receivers, got a good defense, started playing good football. The confidence comes and the talent comes back to the top. And then since he failed against the Rams in the playoff game, the Vikes didn't want to invest in him. They thought he had a ceiling. Now he's with Seattle, another great team, great defense, good running game, great receiver. Where is he? He's playing the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that Shedeur Sanders is that guy, but I'm pointing out two things. Bryce Young and Sam Darnold reviewed as busts. They were. And now they're not. So I think we just have to kind of let this play out a little bit with Monken and see if they can't build a little bit around him. Hasselbeck was saying, I wouldn't do that. That's not my strategy. Nobody wants to build it.
He said that's a consensus around the league.
So
that was interesting.
I'm just waiting to see some development with the right personnel before I make a definitive opinion on whether this guy is. And Shedeur will not be a bust, ever. Because of where he was drafted. He can never, he can't be a bust now.
Right. It's not
he
like.
He can only be a bust by name and by who his dad is.
But not draft status.
Not draft status.
Not draft status at all. Because the guys that you mentioned, Bryce Young was the 1-1 in the draft, or the 1, what was he, the 1-2 in the draft? And then Sam Darnold was a top 10 pick as well. And so those guys, that came along with them, right, is the expectation of, hey, you were drafted here, and then you should be doing this in a certain amount of time. With Shedeur, it's kind of like, hey, man, you're a fifth-round pick. If we get anything good
1-1 for Bryce is about as big of a spotlight as you could ever get.
Right.
You're 1-1 and you play the quarterback position.
And think about the pressure that followed, AR, because of what CJ was doing out of the gate in Houston, and how a lot of Carolina fans were a little tight and saying,
the wrong guy.
We got the wrong guy.
Picked the smaller guy, the wrong guy.
Right.
And Darnold was
the 1-3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know if anybody would ever view him as, like, the problem is he carries the Sanders name. So there's always that scrutiny and always that pressure.
For sure.
But from a draft status,
no,
it's house money.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to come back with Shefty in 2 minutes live from the Super Bowl, and he is at Super Bowl 60. But we really want to zero in on whether the Browns can save the Jim Schwartz saga. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
You know who my dad is?
Have you already stalled on your New Year's resolution? Now's your second chance and best chance. At Low T Center, they're extending their New Year's promos to give you the new start you need in February. If you're exhausted, if you've lost your sex drive, book a free testosterone test now at Synergenics and Low T Center. No risks, no commitments, just answers. And pick up discounted peptides and GLP-1s while you're there. This deal won't last forever. Head to lowtcenter.com or Synergenics.com and book your free TRT appointment today.
Think switching to T-Mobile's a whole complicated thing? Nah, it's easy. You can do it almost anywhere in just 15 minutes.
Even poolside like Drewski, you can switch to T-Mobile and unlock savings that are built to last. With T-Mobile's Better Value Plan, you can save over $1,000 a year versus Verizon and AT&T. Save on streaming, satellite, and more benefits that they leave out.
Now I get all the VIP perks.
Start saving from day one, and for a limited time, get T-Mobile's Better Value Plan.
I know you love deals.
Plus, switch right now, and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800. What do you think of all that, Drewski?
Stay chillin', just switching. It's better over here.
Check them out at T-Mobile.com/better value. Savings versus comparable plans at AT&T and Verizon, plus the cost of optional benefits. Plan features and taxes and fees vary. With 3+ lines of Better Value Plan. 3+ new lines and 2 eligible ports, or 3+ lines and 5+ years on T-Mobile postpaid plan required. Qualifying credit required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Get up to $800 per line via virtual prepaid card. Typically takes 15 days after rebate submission. Qualifying unlocked device, credit, service, ported, 90+ days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. No cash access and card expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, it's that time of the week. He's our guy. He is the senior NFL insider for ESPN, the one and only Adam Schefter from Super Bowl 60. My man, good to have you.
Anthony, it is great to be with you, walking through the streets of downtown San Francisco looking for a coffee shop right now that I'm going to duck into.
Beautiful. Haven't been out there in a long time, but Union Square is fun, and it's a cool location to be. I want to bring you back first to Cleveland and get your opinion on this whole Jim Schwartz debacle. Like, obviously, Cleveland knew they weren't giving him the job, but my mind thought that they were going to try to either convince whoever they hired to say, hey, the defense is set. We need Jim Schwartz. Adam, I was looking at this through the wrong eyes. I should have been looking at it through the eyes of Jim Schwartz. Is there any chance? Is there any chance? You and I talked about this last week, you, I, and Maddie, about that he's contractually obligated to be a coach of the Cleveland Browns. Do you know, is he asking to get out of that contract now?
I don't know the specifics, but here's what I would just say. Just talk about it from a human sense, human logic, common sense standpoint. Okay? Anybody who gets bypassed for a job that they want in any profession would not usually be all that enthralled about staying with that particular company. Can we agree on that, right? Of course. And I think Jim Schwartz is a pretty proud guy. He was a finalist, and he was passed up for another veteran assistant coach who doesn't have a proven track record as an NFL head coach. Now, if they were hiring John Harbaugh, maybe Jim Schwartz would say, oh, I understand that. But they hired Todd Monken, and Todd Monken's a great coach. He's a great coach. But I don't know that necessarily that makes Jim Schwartz, want to stay or do anything like that. So you had that going on, too. And so I just think that there's a whole host of issues there where, it's like in football. If a guy doesn't want to play, he I don't care how many years he has left in his contract. When you think of the guys that have held out, they're not showing up. They get Carson Palmer. They're not going to play. And I kind of believe that's where Jim Schwartz is. Now, could they change his mind? Sure, they could. It's possible. I'm not counting on that. I think he's going to be leaving. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, again, I'm sure they're going to try to change his mind. And by the way, the new coach, Todd Monken, he doesn't know Jim Schwartz very well. So I just think there's a lot to work through to make me think that Jim Schwartz is going to be back and they're going to get that figured out. That's not what I'm expecting.
Shefty, right now, what's your understanding of like the behind the scenes with Schwartz? Are there other teams currently courting him and trying to pull him away from Cleveland? Can they even communicate with him right now since he's under contract? Okay.
No, they're not allowed to communicate with him. He has a contract. That would be tampering. I think we'd be naive to think that, a team that needs a defensive coordinator wouldn't mention to his agent, hey, keep us in mind on Jim Schwartz or what's going to happen with Jim Schwartz. We'd be interested. Of course, that could happen. I mean, and I'm sure that has happened. But you're not allowed to talk to Jim Schwartz about your opening. He's under contract to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm with you. When I listened to the press conference with Monken yesterday, he definitely focused on bigger things for him and bigger picture. He didn't take the job because of Jim Schwartz. I'm not saying he was purposely distancing himself from him, but he definitely didn't want to lean into, well, we're nothing without him. So I agree with you. It's kind of leaning that way. All right, well, that's interesting because I thought they'd have that wrapped up one way or the other before the press conference, and they didn't.
Yeah, no, they did not, and they don't have a reset at all. And again, I'd be surprised if they get it worked out. Again, doesn't mean they won't try, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Super Bowl just a few days away. Let's lock in on Drake May and get a health update for him. Had an incredible season so far, Shefty, in year number 2, but he's a little banged up, maybe even dealing with an illness. What's the latest on Drake May and your understanding of how ready to go he is?
Look, I think this time of year everybody's banged up, but I don't think it's going to prevent him from playing. I think, like Sam Darnold had the oblique injury. He got it shot up with a painkilling injection in each of the 2 playoff games. I don't know whether Drake May's shoulder injury, I'm going to guess, and it's a guess, probably an AC joint sprain, some kind of sprain in that shoulder when he landed on it. Probably could shoot it up if he needs to. But my understanding is he's going to be out there. He's going to be starting, and we'll see how much it affects him. My guess is I don't think it'll be all that much.
Well, he played it off in the press conference for sure. He even gave kind of visual aid, rotating his shoulder a little bit, so that was cool. On the other side, we know Sam Darnold is playing with pain with that oblique. It hasn't seemed to hamper him. Same situation, or you feel like he's, improved or regressed since the NFC title game?
Look, it hasn't been an issue for him, really. I think it might have been the first week more so. Didn't seem to throw a lot of passes downfield. Didn't impact him in the conference championship game. And I don't anticipate with 3 weeks off that it'll be a factor for the Super Bowl.
Of all the new coaching hires, Shefty, and guys that are putting together their staffs around the league, which for you is the most intriguing, moving forward? Is it Harbaugh in his new home? What's going on in Pittsburgh, Baltimore? Looking at some of these new faces in new places, what's most intriguing to you?
That's a good question. I'm going to move it forward here and say Clint Kubiak in a way, partly because it's fresh. It doesn't happen. Partly because he's coaching in the Super Bowl Sunday. Partly because the Raiders have been so bad, but partly because they have the number 1 pick. So now you're talking about a team that will have Clint Kubiak, Fernando Mendoza, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, and $90 million of cap space. Like all of a sudden, there's some elements there that you think, well, this is interesting now. The Raiders have been so bad for so long, but now they have some elements in place, and we'll see how that goes.
A lot of people believe that this Super Bowl is kind of easy to predict, that Seattle is a much more rounded team, more complete team, and that the Patriots are kind of been on borrowed time, even though they've won games. They were fortunate to get a Bo Nix-less team in Denver. What is your feeling on the Super Bowl?
I don't think we've seen the real Patriots throughout the playoffs. Not the real, but the first week in the first playoff round, they went up against the Chargers, a great defense in freezing cold conditions. The next week, they went up against the Texans in the snow. The next week, they went up against the Broncos in the snow. They haven't played a game in normal weather since the regular season. And I think the offense is more explosive than people think. The defense has been instrumental in them reaching the Super Bowl and winning the conference championship. And I just think that this team is better than people think, and I think people are sleeping on New England some.
Yesterday, Shedeur, we were reacting to Greeny. He had a take on Get Up, I believe, and he was talking about the number 1 overall pick and maybe should the Raiders be considering moving off that pick if they get a certain amount of draft picks from someone else. Any of that chatter happening behind the scenes, or do you feel right now as we sit here in the early portion of February that the Raiders are locked in on Fernando Mendoza?
Well, I think they're locked in on him. They need a quarterback. He's the best quarterback in this draft. It'd be shocking if they didn't take him. I can't imagine they won't. And again, he'll be the next building block for that franchise. That's how it's going to come down, I expect.
Couple of future offseason quarterback type things that I was thinking about Kyler Murray and whether his time in Arizona is going to be over, whether the Vikings are going to certainly try to bring in a veteran to kind of shore up their quarterback situation. What do you think about those two things?
I think both will probably happen. I think that the Cardinals, my guess would be they move on from Kyler Murray. Obviously, they'll have to sit down, assess the market, see what they can get, see the cost. There's a lot of questions and issues they still have to work through. So there's obviously nothing final. But my sense, my read would be that they move on from him. I think that's been the feeling all along. And then the Vikings have to bring in another quarterback. It's just a question of who's the quarterback, who's the right guy that can be good enough to hold down the fort if they need it, good enough to challenge J.J. McCarthy, but not be somebody that threatens and disrupts the chemistry in that quarterback room. So that's a delicate decision for a team that just fired its general manager on Friday.
Right.
But they promoted Rob Brzezinski, made him the interim GM. Rob's been around forever. He's incredibly well respected within his organization, and I'm sure he's going to do the right job handling that particular situation.
How much of Sam Darnold and this fairy tale story that he's rewritten and getting to the Super Bowl affected that decision the Vikings made with their GM, do you think?
Well, I think it has to factor in. I don't think that if the Seahawks didn't reach a Super Bowl that anything would have been all that different. Like the Vikings had 2 quarterbacks in their room last year with J.J. McCarthy. Both left. They made attempts to keep both, never came close to keeping both. But I just think that they need to keep one to help keep the season alive, help preserve everything. And that didn't happen. Both quarterbacks left. And obviously it impacted their season, which impacted the future of Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. And here we are.
Well done, my man. Grab that coffee. Feel good. Have a great week. You picking a winner?
Well, it seems like everybody's on Seattle. I don't like to follow the crowds. I'll say that.
Okay, we'll mark you down for the other side, and we'll either.
I don't have a strong conviction, but I'm gonna pick them for the time being. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, if they don't win, we won't ship you over to Alcatraz. You'll be all right.
You got it, guys. That'd be awesome.
See you, pal. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
You got it. Adam Schefter, San Fran, covering Super Bowl 60. He was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan-Guest Hotline. All right, last night, while we were watching hockey and everything else, the big NBA trade, and doing my best Sebastian Maniscalco, why would you do that? The Cavs deal it, an all-star for the beard. We'll discuss it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan. Get Eco.
ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year. Or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Go to geteco.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
I'm Jay Plyburn, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. Not long ago, my wife Whitney and I packed up a camper van, hit the road, and spent months exploring national parks and small-town farmers markets, having the adventure of a lifetime. Now my goal is to help you start your day feeling informed and ready for what's ahead. From the impact of state and local decisions to breaking news from Dublin to Delaware, we've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
I take care of the kids, my dad, things at work, but I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. Go to mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see.
Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3 podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus.
And we'll sit by you right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Like Yoda, Rothman will limp onto the golf course, talk about how stiff his back is, wonder how he can even make it through a hole, and then proceed to kick your ass. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Didn't see this one coming. I don't know if anybody really did. I mean, the Cavs did start the year as favorites to win the East. You and I talked about that. This season has not been that. And they were feeling a lot of pressure because Donovan Mitchell is their best guy, and they really want to lean into that. And whether they were going to do something before the deadline's when? Thursday?
Thursday at 3. Yeah.
So he's got a contract extension that he may or may not sign in a couple summers from now. But if you didn't hear this, and I don't know how you could not have, James Harden is going to the Cavs, and Darius Garland is going to the Clippers. It's an absolute stunner for me, age-wise. This is one of those things that it's not like Harden's a bad player. He's a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
But you traded a 26-year-old two-time All-Star who has not been consistent. He's not been healthy a lot of times. And didn't he went through that whole scrutiny of not playing hurt?
Well, that was Stephen A. that was calling him
you
out.
You and I defended him on that. Maybe we were wrong to defend him. I don't know. But here we are. And so my question to you would be this. Does Spider Mitchell have enough juice to force this?
To force Harden coming to Cleveland?
Absolutely.
Oh, so you think that's what this was? You think Mitchell wanted Garland out?
I think he wanted Harden in. And I don't know how you get Garland out or how you get Harden in if you don't.
That's interesting. I was with you as far as Harden being attached to this team, because on LA side of things, that being the Clippers, it's not like they're playing bad right now. They're actually playing really well. So this sounds like this is maybe rooted in him being interested in getting a new deal, and we'll see if that happens in Cleveland. I understand what you're saying about the age with Garland. That gives the Clippers some more runway with him, and he is a really good player when he's right. But the availability, as you touched on, just hasn't been consistent enough. And when you are a front office and you're an owner and you're looking at this core of players that you spent a lot of money on, and you've actually watched this team in the playoffs kind of fizzle out in a bad way over the last couple of years, I can understand why they were ready to tweak this in some way. Like coming into the season, there was chatter out there about, hey, would they move on from Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, one of these guys to kind of, lighten the mood just a little bit and hit reset on this whole thing. And so now here you are. You get one of the best bucket getters of all time. James Harden's top 10 in scoring in the history of the association. I like this fit next to Mitchell because it can get him off the ball just a little bit. And James Harden, while he's been known as a guy that likes to get his shots up, he's going to get his assist as well at a pretty high clip. So I'm excited to see what this is going to look like. They're still going to need, hopefully in time, a guy like Max Strus to come back to give them more size on the wing and all of those things.
He had a foot problem too.
Yeah, that's kind of lingered, and maybe I think he had a setback as well. But as far as the pressure that Harden and Mitchell are going to put on defenses night in and night out, that for me is something that I would be excited about if I were a Cavs fan. But what's always to me going to make this team scary and a real threat to win a championship is going to be Evan Mobley's ascent. Like that's what this needs to be, is that guy turning into a dominant force night in and night out. One defensive player of the year last year, and now he'll have a guy coming in James Harden, and so will Jared Allen, that has really done a good job, that being Harden, of getting the bigs involved with the lobs and stuff. So those guys should eat pretty well now that he's coming to town. But it is going to be wild to see James Harden, the beard, in a Cleveland Cavaliers uniform. It's insane. Crazy. Not as odd as D-Wade when he came to Cleveland on the back nine of his career, because Harden's got some good, tread left on the tires. But, I would be excited if I were a Cavs fan.
Yeah, I think whenever you get this kind of a player in your uniform, it can certainly be a cool thing. It's just not for long enough time. And it's like the Harden for Garland trade, as far as the Cavs payroll is concerned, I guess wasn't really that complicated. They both make about $40 million.
So the math was
so yeah, exactly. Yep. So Cleveland could make the trade, and they don't. It's not tricky. So that part probably we should have seen coming, but this would be really weird if Harden declines his option for next season and re-ups on a longer deal for lower money. Then all of a sudden, then you've got something. Then I think, but the Cavs want to win now, and I don't know if they're done. Like this is the headliner, but they probably aren't done.
No doubt. TLC's got some sound from Wendy, who's all over the NBA and still locked up there in Cleveland. Here he is on the trade.
I believe this was, rooted mostly in money, especially future money. James Harden's contract is not fully guaranteed next year. The Clippers, right ahead of the deadline, were not willing to commit to doing that or giving him more money, whereas the Cavs, looking for an upgrade and someone that they could do a deal with, because as a second apron team, it's a very narrow pathway for them to upgrade their roster. They had a trading partner for Darius Garland and a Harden option, and that sort of all fell together. The one thing as we wake up today that I will point out, James Harden, in an interview with Ramona Shelburne last night, explaining what he said was an emotional decision to leave the Clippers, referenced that he wanted to help the Clippers in their rebuild. Now, this is a stunning statement. Is this him just trying to grease and explain his way out, or does he actually believe that the Clippers, who just went 17-4, are starting a rebuild? Because if they are, and this is what teams are going to be asking themselves today, could there be other Clippers on the move in the next 24 hours, or is James just saying that to make it understandable and sell that he's walking away from his hometown team that has been red hot to chase more guaranteed money.
Kobe Altman's been wheeling and dealing, AR. You mentioned maybe some moves that could happen again before tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Prior to the Harden deal, they traded DeAndre Hunter, got him out of there. He's been a solid piece in their rotation, and you bring in Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. So some new life, some new juice now added to that locker room up there. But the core of Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, and Evan Mobley, those are the guys that if they're going to be making a lot of noise in the playoffs, it's going to be because of those three.
The dream, and this may turn into a nightmare, but if you want to look at it as a dream, Harden stays, Mitchell's there, and LeBron comes back.
Ooh, okay.
To end it.
Uh-huh.
So now you have this aging, like old Olympic gold medal.
Chips all in.
Like
chips
yes,
all in.
like
Starting
that,
five of Spida, the Beard, LeBron, Evan, and Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can rock with that.
Now all of a sudden, it's all in. And I know they like to use that phrase a lot.
They do.
So maybe that's the dream of all dreams. I don't know. But it was a wild thing last night.
No doubt.
To see that happen. To trade a 26-year-old two-time All-Star for a 36-year-old guy.
Who's an all-timer, though.
Who's an all-timer.
He's an all-timer.
And still can obviously be a facilitator that can make a lot happen. All right, we're going to come back top of the hour and get into hour number 2. Is there one Ohio State opponent this upcoming season that would be viewed as a trap game? One guy thinks so. We'll tell you what that is next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
The savings are so good at Great Lakes. But have you seen our inventory? With over 1,000 new Hyundais to choose from, there's no need to settle at glakeshyundai.com. Find a new Palisade with the exact options you need, or a new Tucson in that color you have been seeing around town. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings and selection are so good.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Start the year off moving, not hurting. With joint pain, if it's holding you back, listen up. There's a way to get relief without surgery, no downtime, and without putting your life on pause. Dr. Tessner and the other pros right here at QC Kinetics in Columbus, Ohio, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair areas that are causing you the pain. Those achy hips, knees, shoulders, back, wherever it hurts. And the results, 97% of Cleveland patients report satisfaction with their results. So instead of facing an invasive operation that sidelines you for months, these treatments, they happen right in office and you go about your day. I should know, I've had them. My dad has had them. They feel good. They can deliver life-changing results. Imagine moving around better, being stronger, planning the year you actually want. Do not wait. January is supposed to be a clean slate, so make it yours. So go call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Get Eco.
Aaron, when we say same-day furnace installation, what does that mean exactly?
It means if you call us in the dead of winter because your furnace has died, we will install a new furnace the same day.
Get Eco.
So by same day, you mean like the next day, but within 24 hours?
No, Jerry, the same day you call.
How can we do that? Do we really have furnace techs just sitting here waiting for emergency calls?
Yes.
And we have a whole warehouse full of different furnaces, so we'll have one ready to go no matter what you need?
Yes.
And we have extra trucks in the fleet, just parked and ready to be loaded at a moment's notice?
Yes.
How do we do that?
Jerry, how could we not do that? If your heat goes out in the middle of winter, that's an emergency. So we'll be there the day you call.
Get Eco.
We should install a pole the guys can slide down, like firefighters.
No, Jerry, and please don't suggest that in front of the team.
Get Eco.
GetEco.com.
For 25 years, the Library of Congress Veterans History Project has collected and preserved the experiences of America's heroes. From original letters to oral histories, these first-hand accounts bring history to life, one voice at a time. With over 120,000 stories collected, each reveals the courage, sacrifice, and service of our veterans. But many remain untold. Help our nation reach 125,000. Share a story. Ensure a legacy. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Columbus Blue Jackets playing their final game before the Olympic break tonight, hosting the Chicago Blackhawks at 7. The CBJ are hot. They've won 6 straight. Kirill Marchenko skated this morning and could return to the lineup after missing last night's game with an illness. Jet Greaves gets the start in net. Coverage here on The Fan beginning at 6:30. The Cleveland Cavaliers and Los Angeles Clippers made a big trade yesterday. The Cavs sending Darius Garland and a second-round pick to L.A. for James Harden. Harden could make his team debut against his former team tonight in L.A. Tip is set for 10:30. Both Ohio State basketball teams in action tomorrow night. The men in Maryland taking on the Terrapins at 8:30. The 9th-ranked Lady Bucks out west battling Washington at 9. This one brought to you by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online, sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
Hour number 2. Ins and outs this hour. Hit you with a Buckeye Bulletin. We went over their schedule a lot when that came out. And you know what everybody says about that schedule, man.
What do they say, AR?
Look out for everybody but Ohio State. It's almost like they're going to have 5 losses. Like, it's amazing.
TLC wasn't ready.
That's all right.
You put it on a tee.
I know I did.
Him.
We've done a couple on a tee for him today, but he's on group chats and things that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. You can't.
I'm listening to other shows trying to collect in and out material.
Okay.
I couldn't find the evidence that Bo Bishop suggested our Jeff Ruby's first date. I was trying to find the evidence. So as far as we are concerned now, that's just hearsay.
Okay.
Well, there's 2 of his compatriots are here today.
Yeah.
One's in this closet here next to me. I'm sure he'll remember where it was.
I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah, he's housing a nice sub right now with a chocolate chip cookie on deck.
Yeah, I would just.
Brian Baker, can you let us know? Was it ever said on the air that I swear to God, I was listening to Bishop and Friends yesterday.
Okay.
And I swear that Reeser said, he made a reference that at some point in time that Bo was responding to a Hey Guys message and suggested for a first date, Jeff Ruby's. But I wanted there to be evidence, and I can't find it.
Okay.
I don't think it's
I believe you.
An outrageous thing.
Well, save that for next segment.
Next segment. Okay.
You're burning my material
here.
Sorry.
All right. I didn't know that's what he was working on.
Remember like the other day.
Thought he was playing a video game on his phone or something.
Like the other day when I thought I knocked out a whole segment by putting the Justin Jefferson, Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy thing and tell the truth, and you guys just burned it at 2:30. I'm like, well, there goes my segment.
All right.
My bad, dog.
All right, so here's the one, and I don't know if this is a trap gamer, but by the way, we're going to need you in this segment. You can't just bail out the entire deal.
Yeah, lock in.
And there's one game on their schedule that could be looked at as, well, not really can't, because it's after a bye week. So I don't. Okay. Now, I guess you could look at that both ways. There's only one bye week this year. That stinks. Maybe a lot of people think it's awesome.
Who's the stink for, AR, specifically?
Mostly us. But the fact that they play USC on the road after the Indiana game, but there's a bye. So now I'm not in the camp of that's a trap game. You're going to have 2 weeks to either, I guess if they beat Indiana and knock off the defending champs and get revenge from the Big Ten title game and do it in Bloomington, that'll be big, and they'll have to come down from that and then go out of town and play USC.
The USC game on Halloween?
It is.
Okay.
So I feel
Halloween in LA?
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
So who dropped the lookout for USC?
So we got to, before I overstep, TLC, do you have sound for this?
I do not,
okay.
But I'm collecting tweets as we speak.
Okay, so I have a little bit of
tweet collector.
Working on the fly over there, this guy.
Collecting tweets.
Twitter.
So there was a little back and forth between two former Buckeyes, one being Bryson Shaw and one being Steele Chambers. And so Steele Chambers responded to a tweet from Bryson Shaw, and he let him know that he believes a big 8-4 season is coming up next year. Fight on, baby. That was Steele Chambers to Bryson Shaw. Bryson Shaw comes back, quote tweets that tweet from Steele and says this: I guarantee you they beat Ohio State October 31st at home, by the way. Crawford, Jide, Lucas, Shelby, and company, and so on, will have a field day with that front. You probably don't even know who they are because you guys live in a bubble. I would research them. Hashtag fight on. Hashtag USC trophy.
I love it. I love that he dropped that. And I'm looking at their schedule.
Tell the truth. Is it true?
I think every fan base kind of lives in their own bubble, don't they?
Well, that's true. 100%.
I don't know if we live in our own bubble. When the schedule came out, it was like, look out.
No, I guess as far as like, there's another drop. But I think like what you consume as your, like in your individual life.
Gauntlet.
There we go. 3 minutes late, but you got it.
The Trojans only leave Los Angeles once until mid-October.
Okay.
It's a trip to the other side of the country to face Rutgers. So if they're good, they'll win that. But then they get Oregon and Washington. They go to the Coliseum, and then Ohio State's on the slate. But that's in LA too. So there's no break from late September until the weekend before Thanksgiving. So there is with a week off in mid-October, but game after game after game, like it's Oregon, Washington, at Penn State, at Wisconsin, Ohio State, at Indiana. That's a gauntlet for them. So Steele may be right on target with this. It's a gauntlet. With the 4 losses?
I like their quarterback at Jordan Mailata.
You kicked Notre Dame to the curb, so that's good for them.
They really did. Here's what I want to touch on, though, is what Bryson Shaw brought up in the tweet.
Touch him up good.
Was that Barkley?
Yeah, that's right.
Touch him up good, though. There's a little blood in the water right now for people that are around the sport of college football that are looking at Ohio State. What I mean by that is one specific unit. They feel like Ohio State's been exposed a little bit based off of what Indiana and Miami did, because that's what he's talking about. He said they're going to have a field day with that front. And so if you're an offensive lineman, I don't know if they care about what Bryson Shaw has to say. I don't know. But he can't be the only one that feels that way. That while, yes, there may be a little of that, hey, Ohio State's got all the shiny toys and all of that, where it counts the most, that's where you can make life difficult for them. And so him listing off guys he believes are going to be good players for them on that defensive line, there's probably other programs like Michigan and like Indiana and like Texas that looked at that game and said, well, wait a minute. Like, okay, and we got respect for who those guys are, but this isn't just just because it's Ohio State, they're automatically going to come in here or we're going to go in their building and lose or whatever that may be. So I thought that was interesting, is that maybe there's some people out there, seeing that you can get after them right now. That could be a weakness. Not that those guys couldn't get better in the offseason and put out a better product, but that's just a little bit of the MO that Ohio State has at the moment.
I think 2 things can be true. I think that USC could lose 4 games, And they could also upset Ohio State. I think those things can be true. I think they can be. Because if USC has it where it counts, and Mayava's back, right?
He should be, yeah.
So he's back. They got a couple dudes in the wide receiver portal. And now they've got, and you could correct me because I don't track this as much as other guys, but doesn't USC have the top recruiting class in the country as far as the
I believe
rankings?
That is correct.
Yeah,
I believe that is correct. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of energy around their program, and maybe that's why they're talking big. And I think your point of the blood and the water based on Ohio State losing their last 2 ball games of the year, I think that there's something there on that. And it's like you said, it's not that they lost, it's how they lost. Yeah. And the Trojans roster is as deep as they've had in a long time, but that schedule is going to test them. As I mentioned, not in this order.